Hare Krishna, dear devotees, welcome for today's discussion on Nectar of Instruction, verse 2, part 2. Okay, so today is 24th January 2025. So we gathered here on this Friday to discuss this, and today is Dasami, and tomorrow is Ekadasi. So I hope that since Ekadasi is falling on Saturday, I hope that all of you can fast. Okay, best is without water, nirjala. If you can't tolerate that, you can fast with fruits. Okay. If you can't even tolerate that, then fast with roots. But please do not take any grains. And tomorrow is called Sattila Ekadasi, which is very auspicious. So I have shared in the group. So I hope that you all can go through that glories. All right. So like that. So before we start, let's do our invocation prayer. Invoking auspiciousness from our spiritual master and our preceptor. Okay. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobistam Stapidam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yuta Padakamlam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagarajadam Shahagana Raghunathan Vidam Tam Sajivam Satvaitam Savaduta Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakan Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pasa Chirisatarine Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimadi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Namine Shri Varshabhanavi Devi Daitaye Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vignana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhuryo Jwala Premadya Sri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namaste Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddha Pasitanta Dvanta Harine Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambodhe Padam Bujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachidanandanamine Gaura Shakti Sarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gauravir Bhava Bhumi Stom Nidasa Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarubhauma Sri Jagannatayate Namaha Vancha Kalpata Rubhyascha Kripa Sindhubevacha Paditanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo Namo Namaha Om Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratise Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavadaram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpade Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Stute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shiva Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Hari Om Tat Sat Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Let's sing Sat Goswami Ashtakam. Krishnaur Kirtana Gana Nartanau Para Prema Mritambo Nidhi Dira Dira Jana Priyau Priyau Karau Nirmat Sarau Pujitau Sri Chaitanya Kripa Barau Bhuvi Bhuvo Bhavata Hantarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Nana Sastra Vicharanaika Nipunau Sat Dharma Samstapakau Lokanam Hitakarinau Tribhuvane Manyau Saranyakarau Radha Krishna Padaravinda Bhajanandena Mattalikau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Sri Gauranga Gunanuvarnana Viddau Shraddha Samridhyan Vitau Papotapan Nikrintanau Tanubritam Govindam Ganamritai Anandam Buddhi Vardhanaika Nipunau Kaivalya Nistarakau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Tyaktva Tyaktva Turnam Ashesha Mandala Pati Shrenim Sada Tuchavat Udvadina Ganesha Kau Karunaya Kaupina Kanta Rishitau Gopi Bhava Rasamritam Tilahari Kallola Maknau Muhur Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Kujat Kogila Hansa Sarasa Ganakirne Mayura Kule Nana Ratna Nibatta Mula Vitapa Sri Yukta Vrindavane Radha Krishnam Aharnisam Prabhajatau Jivartadau Yaumuda Vande Rupa Sanatana Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Sankhya Purvaka Nama Gana Natibi Kala Vasani Kritau Nidraha Varadaki Vijito Chatyanta Dinau Chayau Radha Krishna Guna Smritir Madura Madhuri Manandena Sammohitau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau Radha Kunda Tate Kalinda Tanaye Tiracha Vangsivate Premonmada Vasat Ashesha Dasaya Grastau Pramattau Sada Gayantau Cha Kada Harir Guna Varam Pava Vibhutau Muda Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau He Radhe Vraja Devi Kecha Lalite He Nanda Suno Kuta Shri Govardhana Kalpa Padapattale Kalindi Vane Kuta Goshtantva Iti Sarvato Vraja Pure Keder Mahavihvalau Vande Rupa Sanatanau Raghuyugau Sri Jiva Gopalakau. So today we read verse number 4. I offer my respectful obeisances unto 6 Goswamis, namely Sri Rupa Goswami, Sri Sanatan Goswami, Sri Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, Sri Raghunath Das Goswami, Sri Jiva Goswami, and Sri Gopala Bhatta Goswami, who kicked off all association of aristocracy as insignificant. In order to deliver the poor conditioned souls, they accepted loincloths, treating themselves as mendicant, but they are always merged in the ecstatic ocean of the gopis' love for Krishna and bathe always and repeatedly in the waves of that ocean. So Hare Krishna, welcome. So thank you, my gratitude to every one of you. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, Bonis Mataji, Skandabalan Prabhu, Sheila Mataji, Rusan Mataji, Kesavan Prabhu, Nanda Devi Mataji, and Vivan Prabhu. Thank you for coming and joining us for the continuous discussion. So we will do a quick recap before we start the program. Okay. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. All right. So we are discussing on Nectar of Instruction, second verse. Okay, NOI, or we call as second instruction. So in the second instruction, Rupa Goswami is saying, Atyahara prayayascha, Prajalpa niyamagraha, Jana sangascha laulyamcha, Shadbir bhaktir vinashyati. All right, it says that once devotional service is spoiled, when you become too entangled in the following 6 activities. The 6 activities entangle one. That means it's not an ordinary entanglement, but Prabhupada used this word too entangled. That means very entangled, really entangled, extremely entangled. All right. Entanglement, what they call entangle in English, sikkaradu, sikkal. Bayangara sikkal la matikuvaanga. Okay. So number 1 is eating more than necessary or collecting more funds than required. Over endeavoring for mundane things that is very difficult to obtain. Talking unnecessary about mundane subject matter, practicing scriptural rules and regulation only for the sake of following them, or not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of the scripture and working independently and whimsically, associating with worldly minded person who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, and number 6, being greedy for mundane achievement. Okay, so that's a thing. Then okay, we have went through this paragraph 1, para 2, para 3. All right. Okay, so now we're going to start from here, para 4. Just before we go to this para 4, paragraph 4, a quick recap. Okay, a quick recap. All right, indeed, all living entities within this material world under control by Mahamaya. Okay, so we understood the difference between Yoga Maya and Mahamaya. Yoga Maya means, in other words, in an ordinary form for us to understand, we remember that as Krishna's secretary in spiritual world. Okay, she's a secretary in the spiritual world. And of course, in this material creation, Mahamaya is the secretary for this material world. Okay. Another name of Maya is also Durga. Durga. Dur means suffering. Ka means inflictor. All right. So the job of Mahamaya is always to keep a person under illusion. Okay. Because the job of Mahamaya is not to make you easily achieve Krishna. Okay. Because she's Mahamaya is also like our mother for this our gross body. So her job is not to hold her, some or other hold her. And how she holds her? How she holds us through the instigation of our senses. Okay, our senses. That means we were the gross body that we have, the material creation and everything is by her. So she simply trigger your senses. So how many senses we have? All right, we have this. Okay. So what are the senses that we have? Number one, we have, okay, our body. You all can see the whiteboard, huh? Can you all see the whiteboard?
Yes, bro. Yes, bro.
So we have this, our gross body. Hey, what's happening? So our gross body, is my writing is clear? Or should I make it bigger? Is it okay?
All, all, bro.
Too small? Okay, I'll try to make it bigger.
Yes.
Okay. Is it okay now?
Okay, bro.
Okay, let's look at this. This is our gross body. Okay, our gross body has 5 elements. 5 elements. It's made of 5 elements. Okay, 5 elements, or we also call as what? Mahabhuta.
Mahabhuta.
Or Panchabhutangal, right? Mahabhuta. Okay, Mahabhuta. So that means this gross body got 5 elements. That is air, water, ether, fire. Number 2, we also have 5 senses. Okay, 5 senses means, example, eyes. Okay, nose, etc. Okay, we have 5 senses. Then we have 5 working senses. Okay, what is that 5 working senses? Yes, someone saying something. What is the 5 working senses? Voice, okay, hands, etc. Okay, okay, what are the 5 working senses? Voice, hands, legs, anus, and genitals. Then we have what? 5 knowledge acquiring senses. All right, we have 5 knowledge acquiring senses. So what is that 5 knowledge acquiring senses? That means the eyes, by looking at by eyes, by when we see, we learn through the eyes, we learn through the nose, we learn through the tongue, knowledge acquiring senses. Okay, then this is already how many? 5, 5, 5. Total is already 20. All right, now we have subtle sense. in subtle body, we have three senses that is called mind, intelligence, okay, and false ego. False ego means what we call as false identification. We identify things falsely, okay? So that means total is false, okay? Then we have another one which we call as pradhana. Pradhana means unmanifested. Unmanifested. And what is this? Pradhana means unmanifested, like mode of the material mode of goodness, passion, and ignorance. All right, this is the thing. So total how many? So now we see here, number one, we have 5 gross elements, that means 5. And we have 5 senses, 5, 10, 15, 20. 20, we got subtle, we got 3 things, 21, 22, 23. So total is 23. Then at last, pradhana. Pradhana means something unmanifested. That means something that you acquire. Okay, you don't born with it. Example, today, I am staying in Ipoh. I feel very comfortable staying in Ipoh. Okay, but later, if I migrate to Johor Bahru, if I migrate to Johor, so I go there, my material mode will change accordingly. All right, this is something that is acquired. So that means what we can see from here is we have total of, okay, we have total of 24 elements. All right, 24 elements. So these 24 elements, it's all in your gross body. And who is in charge of this element? All right, so the person who are in charge of this element, we call as, all right, as Maya. Okay, Maya. So what is the job of Maya? Maya, or also we call as superintendent. Superintendent. I hope my spelling is correct. Superintendent. All right. Anyway, not correct also, as long as you understand it's good enough. All right, Maya or superintendent. She's the one that always engage our. She's the one that always what they call that always put us stuck us. So where we stuck, she use the gross body to make you entangle, or she used that 5 senses, or she used that 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Like sometimes people are so engrossed to learn some mundane things, right? They want to go and learn some nonsense things and all this. So she used that 5 working sense. That means she used the 5 working sense to talk nonsense and everything. Then 5 knowledge acquiring senses. Okay, she used that. Or then if all this doesn't work, she used that mind, intelligence, ego. And if not, she also used this material mode to somehow or other make you entangled. So you are entangled. I mean, not you. We are all entangled. So the Maya or the superintendent, she only can make us entangle or can make us stuck through this gross material body. Okay, she only can make us stuck using this material body. Okay, so when you see here now, so that means we are all under control of Mahamaya. So how the Mahamaya controls us? Control using our gross form. Okay, she cannot control us, control our spiritual form. But this gross form, all right, all these 24 elements, she used that to control us. So how she control is through the threefold misery. She always give you threefold misery, 3 kinds of miserable. All right, number 1 is Adi Daivika Klesha. That means suffering from the demigods, such as drought, earthquake, storms. So imagine whenever we are having a terrible hot sun, is a drought season, what suffers? Okay, our skin start burning. So the sense of touch is suffering. All right. Then our tongue become dry. All right. Then we feel very dehydrated. Okay. So she used that senses for us to suffer. Then secondly, if that thing doesn't work, she also give us this thing called Adi Bautika. Adi Bautika means the suffering that caused by other living entities. All right. Like insects and enemies. So how that enemies will attack you? by giving you, say, like if you've taken money from the loan shark. So how they don't touch you nowadays, right? So they give you mental torture. So they will torture you using that. Okay. That means they always come and disturb you, and they say like okay, now we are going, suddenly a road bully come and attack you. So they attack us using. So the one that takes and suffer is our gross form and subtle form. So the gross body suffers. And the third one is Adi Atmika Klesha. Adi Atmika Klesha. That means we are suffering from our body, mind, all right, as like a mental and physical. This is all subtle body. Because the mind, body, and all this, we cannot see by our own. We cannot see. We only can feel it, right? Because that's why we call it as subtle. So that means we suffer. So Adi Atmika Klesha, we suffer through the our own body. That means through the mind, mental, and physical infirmities. All right. Say like, for instance, suddenly the eyes cannot see. That means we are losing the sense of sight. Suddenly, when a person gets COVID, the tongue cannot taste. He lost the taste of the tongue, or the flesh get jaundice. All right, jaundice. Even how sweet you eat, also still your tongue will become bitter. So like that. So okay. So now you all understand, eh? So how the Mahamaya control? The Mahamaya control using that the elements that we have. All right. So Daiva Bhutatma Hetava. That means the conditioned soul subject to these three miseries by the control of the external energy and suffers various difficulties. All right. So actually what we are suffering is not painful. We are thinking it's pain, but it's actually a difficulty. All right. It's only a difficulty. Okay. Now let's continue. Okay. Before we start, is there any questions? Do any one of you got any questions to ask? Any doubt about these three klesha? All good? Thumbs up. Don't forget to thumbs up. Okay. Now let's start our discussion. Okay. So the main problem, okay, the main problem confronting the conditioned soul is the repetition, birth and death, old age and disease. All right. That means what they call what is the Sanskrit term? Janma, Jara, Mrityu, and Vyadi. All right. Janma means birth. Jara means old age. Disease, what we call Vyadi, and death we call Mrityu. So that means the main problem, okay, the main problem that confronting the conditioned soul. Who is that conditioned soul? Okay, I've already explained to you yesterday. The conditioned soul means the soul that has been conditioned by material environment. Okay. So the main problem, the biggest problem is the repetition of birth, death, old age, and disease. All right. In this material world, one has to work for maintenance of the body and the soul. Okay. One has to work. But how can one perform such a work in a way what is favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? But what you can perform, what work you can do for the favorable for the execution of Krishna consciousness? Okay. So therefore, Prabhupada is explaining, everyone requires possession. Everyone needs possession. That means you need to have something such as food grains, okay, clothing, money, and other things necessary for the maintenance of the body. Okay. So you all understand? So we need to have some possession. We cannot go around naked. We need to have some clothes. We cannot go around without eating. So we need to have food grains. All right. We need to have money. All right. Even I want to go out, the toll and commuter and all this train and everything, all we need money. So all these things are necessary for maintaining this body. All right. But the question is, one should not collect more than necessary. He should not collect more than necessary for his actual basic needs. All right. So what is our basic needs? We should maintain in that way. We should not aspire, or we should not collect more than necessary. Okay. If this natural principle is followed, that means we call the natural principle is followed, there will be no difficulty in maintaining the body. See, when we want to collect something, we need to go extra mile. Yes or not? Say like, for instance, okay, now I have this enough. So you can just maintain that place and you can engage your mind, your intelligence, and your mind and intelligence in the service of the Lord. Okay, by chanting very nicely, and also by reading the Bhagavad Gita and all these things nicely, so you can engage very nicely. But if you want to endeavor something extra, okay, if you want to endeavor something extra, you have to go for extra mile. So that extra mile takes lots of effort. Example, I find that in Ipoh, I don't have any future. Okay, I don't have any future. I need to get a job. Okay, so I want to get a job. Okay, what is my target? What is my target? Okay, I need to earn at least 5,000 ringgit a month. Okay, 5,000 ringgit a month. Okay, 5,000. Do I have any opportunity to earn that 5,000 ringgit in Ipoh? No, I don't have it. So therefore, what I need to do, I go to KL. I go an extra mile, right? And KL also is not so conducive. Then someone says, why not you go to Johor? Johor, you can get better. Then I'll be thinking in my mind, if Johor, why not I just cross the border and go to Singapore? All right. So therefore, people are going to Singapore. See, when I was formerly, when I was doing this training business, my main business is in Johor Bahru. All right. I always fly every weekend. I fly to Johor. Ipoh and Johor, there's a direct flight. So I go every weekend. All right. Every Friday I go and I come back on Monday. So I go there and I train them up and all these things. So I start to see their lifestyle. Their lifestyle is so terrible. I believe that some of you who worked in Singapore, you understand what I'm talking about. You know, there is almost at least minimum one death in every 2 days happening there on the road. Okay, at least one death in 2 days. And I'm always wondering, every weekend I go, palm accident, the flood died. Oh, you know, when all the boys get together, they say, do you know that flood? Ah, the flood died in the accident. Then I was wondering, why? Why is that people are dying there? Why is it crazy? Do they ride motorbike like a crazy man and all this? They say no, because they're extremely fatigued. You know, in order to go to work at 8 o'clock, you have to leave your house at 3 o'clock in the morning. Can you imagine? Just to cross that small border. Even if you're a swimmer, you can jump at this shore and you can swim over to that shore. It's that near. But yet, in order for you have to get ready by 5 hours before your job just to cross the border, because crazy jam. All right. So once you cross the border, you go there, you work and everything. Then you come back at what time? You come back at 8, 9 o'clock at night. All right. You come back home 8, 9 o'clock. You are extremely tired. So the reason for the death, basically, okay, is like when they are riding, they just slip off and they fall. All right. There's one, when I was there, there's one of my Chinese friends, uncle or something like that. He was there giving his passport to chop, suddenly he collapsed and died because of heart attack. So like that. So that means all these people are suffering. You see them, they look so fatigued and they look like a zombie when they come back from work. They come back home around 8, 9 o'clock and just take a bath and eat, just sleep, and about to sleep, suddenly the alarm will ring at 2 o'clock. Cring, wake up, and 3 o'clock, go back to work. This is all atyahara, over-endeavoring for something which is so mundane, over-endeavoring so that he can have something, a house, this thing, all right? Just to sake for earning that $5,000, they are betting their life, their precious life, you know? So that's the thing. But if at all, if I think, okay, if I'm in Ipoh, if I can just maintain my life with 2,000, all right? In Ipoh, roughly the rental, you can get something like 300 to 500 ringgit rental a month, all right? You just need to have a small car, all right? Like Axia, right? Like the Rama, something like that. You need to pay around 300, 800 is there. All right, another 200 to maintain that petrol. There's no toll in Ipoh. So for petrol and all other requirements, and another few hundred for maintaining that house, what they call electricity, water, and food and everything. Despite that, you can still save 100, 200 ringgit. If with that 2,000 ringgit income, when we start to live a basic life, okay, go to work at 8 o'clock, come back by 5, then you are settled. Then you just don't endeavor, you don't waste your money to go out clubbing or go out at night and all this. You just engage your mind thinking of Krishna, engage your mind in serving Krishna. That basic enough is sufficient enough. All right. So that's the thing. So that's the main problem, because we are confronting this. All right. We are confronting with this repeated birth, old age, disease, and death. Then what is the point? You know, even though how great or how much wealth I create, end of the day, I have to let it go. You know, when my grandfather was alive, he was such a big time millionaire. Imagine in 1950s, 1960s, if you are a millionaire, how is it? Right? My great-great-grandfather was, in Tamil, we call Natami, right? Goping, right? And they have that, in fact, his photo is also in Goping Museum, along with Yu Yan Xiang or something like that. So, but what happened? What happened to all the wealth and fortune that he has created? Where has it gone? It's all now staying in memory. Once upon a time, my great-grandfather was a Jameen. But what's the point? You know, everything is gone because we are going through that repetition, birth, death, old age, and disease. So it is not worth the effort. So therefore, this nectar of instruction number 2 is, second instruction is saying that do not waste your life in over-endeavoring. So Prabhupada is explaining further. He says, according to the nature's arrangement, living entities lower on the evolutionary scale. That means living entity lower in the evolutionary, that means we are talking about like birds, like dogs and all these things, okay? They do not eat or collect more than necessary. Okay? They do not eat and collect more than necessary. Consequently, in the animal kingdom, there is generally no economic problem. So Prabhupada is telling, right, in that animal kingdom, basically there is no economic problem or scarcity of necessities. We have not seen animal goes hungry. We have not seen animal goes starving and dies starving. We can only see that in the zoo when they don't feed the animal properly. But in the wild, the animal are given. Everything is provided. All that animal are actively involved. There's no animal there sitting and hibernating. Even at the extreme climate like in the North Pole and South Pole, even the polar bears are also fed. They are given, there's a fish and somehow or other they can catch the fish, they eat, and they can still survive and they still remain fat. We have not seen all of these animals gone skinny, right? So example, when Prabhupada is giving another wonderful example here, all right, the analogy. He says, if a bag of rice placed in a public place, all right, when you see a person place one sack of rice, okay, place. So what happened? The bird will come and eat few grains and go away. Okay, the bird comes, they eat few grains and they just leave. But when a human being, however, will take away the whole bag. All right. When you see the bag, nobody's there. He sapu the whole bag. He takes away the whole bag. He will eat to his stomach can hold. He will eat as much as he can. And after that, he tried to keep the rest in storage. So he start to keep them in storage. So according to the scripture, this collecting more than necessary, atyahara, is prohibited. It is not to say it is not recommended. It is prohibited. That's why even in Ishopanishad, verse 1, how the verse sounds, huh? Isha Vasya idam sarvam. Isha Vasya idam. Everything that animate and inanimate belongs to the God. And we should only take things that is only required for us. All right. So Ishopanishad is the studies that we do after Bhakti Aloka. Okay. First we do now. Now currently we are doing this nectar of instruction. After the nectar of instruction, we complete this book. By next week, we will do this Bhakti Aloka. Then after the following week onwards, then we can do this Ishopanishad. In Ishopanishad, we will learn that. Right? Everything has to be kept in that place, and a person should only can take according to his quota. All right. Now, the entire world is suffering. Now you see the entire world is suffering for what? Because of this, because of monopoly. All right. Say like for instance, like what happened in America, especially when the wheat price, when the wheat, gandum, wheat price falls, they throw the wheat into the sea, into the river. All right, they burn the wheat plant. All right, because oversupply, less demand. When there's oversupply, less demand, the price will drop. So in order to maintain that, what they do, they will destroy the crop. But they should think that people like in a remote area, like in Africa, Sudan, all these places, the people need food. They will never supply to them. All right. So that's the thing. That is the demoniac kind of what they call demonic kind of what do you call that? Demonic kind of civilization that is going on now. Okay. Now let's look at the next paragraph. So collecting and eating more than necessary. So collecting and eating more than necessary can cause prayasa. Okay. So collecting and eating more than necessary is called prayasa, causes prayasa or unnecessary endeavor. Okay. Example, like what I've said just now, the endeavor like people are going to Singapore to work. People are migrating to other countries, right? They go to other countries just for a better life, better work, because they want to collect more than necessary. All right. So there's a prayasa or unnecessary endeavor. But we should understand by God's arrangement, anyone in any part of the world can live very peacefully. All right. Anyone and everyone in around the world can live very peacefully if only if he has a land and a milk cow. Okay. So Prabhupada is explaining, when we have a little land and a milk cow, we can live happily. There is no need for men to move from one place to another. All right. There's no need for men to move to one place to another for a livelihood. For one can produce food grains locally and get milk from cows. That can solve all economic problems. Fortunately, man has given, but fortunately, Prabhupada says, man has given higher intelligence for the cultivation of Krishna consciousness or the understanding of God. Okay, one's relationship with him and the ultimate goal, relationship with him, and also the ultimate goal, that is to live love of God. Okay, ultimate goal of life, that is to love of God. Unfortunately, so-called civilized men, all right, where is it? Okay, unfortunately, so-called civilized men not caring for God realization. Okay, they have no time for God realization. So what they do? They utilize the intelligence, okay, to get more than necessary and simply eat and satisfy the tongue. Okay, we want to get more than necessary and simply eat to satisfy the tongue. But by God's arrangement, there is sufficient scope for the production of milk and grains. Okay, there is sufficient scope for the production of milk and grains for human beings all over the world. Okay, so when we really look at it, there is sufficient scope. That means easy. That means grains and all these are easily cultivated. Okay, because that's what we are living on. And the milk, now you see the milk price is keep increasing. Okay, the milk price are simply increasing. Formerly, I remember, but during those days, we used to buy 1 liter of milk for what? 1 ringgit, 150, then went to 2 ringgit. And today is 750. In some places, 8. If you go and look for a fresh milk, it's somewhere around 7 to 8 ringgit. All right. And why? Because the crazy human being, they are destroying them. They are slaughtering the cow unnecessarily. What is that basic? See, when you kill a cow, the cow takes at least years to grow and to produce milk. But just for the satisfaction of a tongue, they kill it on the spot. And how many kilos can you eat? Can you produce from the cow? When you take a cow, roughly, I think it should be at least, 300 kilos, if I'm not mistaken, right? 200, 300 kilos. And 300 kilos, if say, how many people can you feed? All right. If say like a person eats 1 kilo of beef, so you only can feed something like 300 people. All right. 300 people only could eat. But when you just allow the cow to live and take care of the cow so nicely, it produces milk and it can supply you milk for the next few years. Because the lifespan of a cow is 20 years. At least for the next 10 to 15 years, the cow could go on producing milk for you. But the foolish human being simply slaughter the cow just for the satisfaction of the meat. All right. So why killing cow is so sinful? Because cow is mother. As I said that we have 6 mothers. So cow is one of the mother. Every living entity survive on cow. If I see a kitten on the roadside, all right, without without the mother cat, all right, I can just take the cow's milk and feed the kitten, and the kitten can stay strong. Even the snake, I can even feed milk to the snake. Every living entity in this world, all right, especially everything, they can survive with cow's milk. That's why we call mother cow as a universal mother. Just imagine every living entity. Even if I see a goat, even anything, any little thing, the only thing that easily available is cow's milk, right? But nowadays, crazy human being, they have even went into drinking goat's milk. That's so disgusting, right? And even in a certain part in Arabian countries, they drink that, what they call, what milk? They drink that camel milk, camel's milk, all right? And they even drink donkey's milk. And they even drink pig's milk, all right? That day I was seeing one part of pig's body. If the pig is killed, all right, and the meat of the pig we call pork, all right? The gelatin of the pig we call something. Then after that, I was so shocked to see the milk of a pig. Even the milk of the pig also people are harvesting and drinking. And imagine how much that we are degrading. So that's why this nectar of instruction is very important, because we have to get out of this place as soon as we can. All right, as soon as we can. But even if we don't make it, like yesterday we have discussed our Daivi Prakriti. What is Daivi Prakriti? Can anyone tell me what is Daivi Prakriti? Anyone? Yesterday we discussed on Daivi Prakriti. What is that? Hello? Anyone remembers? Or you can send a message, or you can shout out. No one remembers? Alama. What is Daivi Prakriti? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. Daivi Prakriti means, Daivi means divine, Prakriti means nature. So we are under the divine protection of the divine nature. Even say, like, if you fail in your endeavor to become a devotee in this very birth itself, still you will never take birth among that demoniac species of people who eats cow, who drinks donkey's milk or this kind of milk. All right, we are still don't go there. All right, so that's the thing. So we have to make that endeavor, and that's for that Nectar of Instruction is the most important book that we should take into consideration. So we should always keep this. That's why I said like one my teacher told me, if you want to be successful in life, you should have the garland of NOI around your neck. In other words, we should always memorize all the verses, and we should read the verses every day. All right, because this is the instruction that can save us from this. All right, now, but instead of using their higher intelligence to cultivate God consciousness, the so-called intelligent men misuse their intelligence. Okay, they simply misuse or waste their intelligence to produce many unnecessary and unwanted things. All right, like for instance, now they have created a drone, and everybody thought, oh, drone. But now the problem, when they created drone, what happened? They talk about spying. All right, they talk about spying. They bring the drone, you can go and spy your neighbor. Okay, then after that, the soldiers are using to spy. And in fact, now the soldiers are using drone to attack. So all these are unnecessary creation, unwanted things. And now, if you want to use your drone, you need to get the permission from Department of Aviation. You have to call them and get a permission. I'm going to fly my drone at this zone. All right, you cannot simply fly your zone drone. So like that, all these unwanted things are creating more and more suffering. So this, because and not only that, they created unnecessary thing, and this factories, slaughterhouse, brothels, and liquor shops are open. Right? Why? See, there's so many factories are open. People are making money. Okay, they work so hard day and night, and after they work so hard, they are so tired. All right, and after that they want to eat a good food. So they what is the thing that always give them so much energy is meat. So they created so many slaughterhouses. They created so many slaughter. More and more animals are being killed mercilessly, and there's some slaughterhouse are running 24 hours shift. All right, it's not stopping. 24 hours. Like for instance, the chicken. That day I was, not that day, few months ago, I saw, according to the survey, there are 200 over 1,000 chickens are killed every second. 200,000 chickens are killed every second around the world. The most killed animal, chicken. And now they even have a slaughterhouse, the dinding chickens, they are running 24 hours. Right? So then after that, after this thing, then they have no time for family. They don't have time. See, the family tradition broken. So then they do what they do. They want to satisfy the senses. They go to the brothel. They go to the brothel, look for a prostitute to satisfy their senses. Right? And after brothel and everything done, then they go to the liquor shop and they drink liquor. And after that, beer and liquor, and they stay in hallucination. And next day they wake up and they go on. See, I'm talking all these based on my experience of seeing people in Japan. I was in Japan before, right? I used to go there for business. People, they work day and night. For them, job is God, all right? And after that, they go and eat some really good meat like Wagyu or this kind of salmon and all this kind of nonsense they eat. And the Japanese, not so, but the people that I have associated, they don't even have a house to stay. They go and stay in the brothel. All right, they stay in the brothel. Can you imagine? Their life is going on 20, 30 years, work, come back, eat, then go to the brothel and sleep with the prostitute. All right. Then after that, you see they drink so much of what they call beer and there's a kind of liquor they drink. I forgot the name, rice wine, right? So like that. So now the thing is, when I was there, it was like kind of cultural shock to me. I said, how can people live like this? But now, very unfortunately, it is seeping into our Malaysian culture and our Indian culture. All right, it's seeping into a Malaysian and Indian culture. Okay, Indian culture means I'm not talking about Malaysian Indian, I'm talking about India Indians. All right, it's also seeping into India, the land of Bharat, that place that's supposed to be very highly civilized. All right, it's also seeping in. You know, when I was in Bangalore, I got a shock. I think people in Malaysia are more cultured. You know, the people are in Bangalore is so scary to look at them. I was thinking whether I was in Bangalore or whether I was in America, or I was in England. All right, when I was in England also, I seen people are not that kind of, they don't dress like that or they don't live life like that. All right. But what to do? All these things are happening. So if people are advised not to collect too many, okay. But now proper is, if people are advised not to collect too many goods, eat too much or work unnecessarily, to possess artificial amenity, they think they are being advised to return to the primitive way of life. You understand what I'm saying? So if we advise people, when we go and tell people, don't collect too much, don't eat too much, don't work hard, don't need to have so many artificial things, don't need to have too many cars. You know what they think? People think that we are asking them to go back to primitive way of life. That means we are asking them to go into, we are telling them not to grow in front. We are telling them to go behind. Okay, go behind means we are advising them to go back to kampung life, village life. All right. They think like that. But generally, people do not accept plain living and high thinking. Okay. People generally do not accept, all right, the plain living and high thinking. And that is their unfortunate position. All right. So what we can understand from here is this. All right. So the plain thinking and plain living and high thinking is one of that conducive way that a person can achieve spiritual life. All right. Because now we have already move our intelligence, our mind, and our thoughts into a higher plane. All right. Because the most important is we do not want to be born here again. And this is the place that we are only renting. So we do not need to endeavor to maintain our rental. We just keep clean, right? Say if you stay in a rental house, you just keep the house clean. You just keep the thing, of course, because you're living there. But other than that, you don't take ownership of the house. All right. You don't take care of the house. You don't paint the house. Usually people don't do that. How the person, you rent the house, you just maintain the rental and just give it back and come out. Similarly, we are renting this body. So we have to keep the body healthy. We have to keep the body clean. All right. Because we are renting, we are staying in this body. Then after that, when we keep all these basic things for our body enough, so our intelligence we can utilize for something more advanced. All right. Advanced means to inquire. Okay. But of course, all of you have passed through that inquiry. That means you have already passed through that inquiry. Now you have already advanced. Okay. Advanced. So now we are talking about how we can go back to Godhead. Right. So that's the thing. So but the problem is our mind, which is so complicated, our intelligence, which is so complicated, it cannot agree sometimes. Hey, come on, lah. What do you mean, lah? No, cannot, lah. What do you mean one car? Hey, my car is 10 years, 5 years ready, no. Time to change the car. Oh, my car already hit 100,000. Time to change. All right. But that is what usually happen. You know, sometimes people like so agitated, they must change car every 5 years, because I was like that before. I must change car every 3 years. So in that position, no, okay, so what should I do now? What should I? So that means we are putting all these endeavors. So we actually, once we are in spiritual life, right? Our mind and intelligence is agitating us. Now I have to change my car. I have to do this, do that, do that. But once we are in spiritual life, what we do? We chant Hare Krishna. Well, what happened? Our mind is got purified. We chant that. We study that Bhagavad Gita or this issue. I mean, this nectar of instruction, Upadesha Mrita. Our intelligence is getting purified. When the mind and intelligence become purified, the false ego will become the real ego. The false identification will become the real identification. You start to understand things. You start to see all your senses become calm. You start to see your demand will reduce. When all the demand is, why the thing reduced? That means, are you becoming what they call a dull-headed person? Are you becoming a dull-headed? Are you becoming a, like, you know, in Tamil we call mandam. In Sanskrit we call manda. Manda means what the word in English? like dull-headed. That means you become so like, like ignorant flirt. No, we are not becoming a dull-headed person. Actually, what we are doing is we are utilizing our intelligence. We are utilizing our intelligence for a higher purpose of life, because we have set a very high goal for ourselves. And what is that high goal? That's it. Enough is enough. I am going back home, back to Godhood. All right. So that is the highest goal that we have set, and we are working towards that. Now, human life is meant for God civilization, God realization. Human life is meant for God realization. And the human being are given higher intelligence for that purpose. Okay, as I said, like few times I've already mentioned, the six senses. All right, because we have the six senses, so we have to inquire, we have to utilize it for a higher purpose of life. Those who believe that is the higher intelligence is meant, if those people believe that higher intelligence is meant to attain, okay, those who believe higher state should be follow, okay, the higher intelligence is meant to attain a higher state should follow the instruction of the Vedic literature. All right. So when we understand that our intelligence is meant for achieving higher this thing, we should follow the instruction of Vedic literature. Okay. By taking such instruction from higher authorities, one can actually be situated in perfect knowledge. That's when we can achieve the perfect knowledge and give a real meaning to life. Okay. In Srimad Bhagavatam, okay, please mark this thing, 1.2.9, Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. Here, Sutta Goswami described the proper human dharma in this way. All right. Describe what? The proper human dharma in this way. Dharmasya yavapavargasya nartor tayo pakalpate nartasya dharmaikantasya kamo labaya hi smrta. All occupational engagement, that means all the job or distinct dharma are certainly meant for ultimate liberation. They should never be performed for material gain. Furthermore, one who is engaged in ultimate occupation service, dharma, should never use material gain to cultivate sense gratification. Okay. So all occupational engagement, everything that we are working, occupation, engagement, dharma, is certainly meant for ultimate liberation. Okay, I'm going to work, I'm making some money, I come back because I'm going to utilize it in my spiritual upliftment. Okay. So they should never be performed for material gain. At the same time, once whatever occupation, that service or whatever that you're going to get the fruit, should never be used to cultivate sense gratification. Okay. Okay. Now it's already 9:55. Shall we take a short break?
Yes,
Is it okay?
Prabhu.
We take a short break. We take a short break. Huh? All right. Okay. So now it's 9:55. Just take 2-3 minutes and come back. We will continue. Hare Krishna. All right. So we continue. Okay. Now let's continue Prabhupada's purport. Okay. So the first step in human civilization, consists of occupational engagement performed according to the scriptural injunction. That means to work according to recommendation of the Sastra. Okay. The higher intelligence of human being should be trained. So that means the higher intelligence of human being should be trained to understand the basic dharma. Okay. In human society, there are various religious conceptions. Okay. In human society, there are so many various religious conceptions characterized like Hindus, Christian, Hebrew, Mohammedan, Buddhist, and so on. For without religion, human society is no better than animal society. All right. So for that reason, some or other, every human being, they follow some kind of religion. Okay. So as stated above, dharmasya kya vapavargasya narto ratayo pakalpate. That means religion is meant for attaining emancipation, not for getting bread. Okay, so that means our okay, so it says here that our religion, then Prabhupada is explaining the meaning of religion. What is that the actual goal of a religion? All right, the actual goal of religion is for attaining emancipation. That means, or to attaining knowledge, intelligence, and also what they call, or liberation, right? But not for getting bread. All right. Sometimes human society manufactures system of so-called religion. Okay, human society manufactures system of so-called religion aimed at material advancement. Okay, material advancement. So, but okay, now we go to the first. But that is far from purpose of true dharma. That is far from the purpose of true dharma. Religion entails understanding. Okay, what is the religion? Understanding the laws of God. Okay, because the proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one to material entanglement. Okay, so that means understanding the law of God, because the proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one out of material entanglement. So that is the true reason for dharma. Okay, so we should always remember that when the purpose of religion, the purpose of prayer, especially when we go to temple or mosque or synagogue or church, we pray, is not to ask for a daily bread. All right, oh Lord, I need this today, can you supply me this? Okay, nowadays human are all take this as a take God as a order supplier. Okay, you do this for me, I'll do this kind of severe austerity. Okay, I'll take kavadi, I'll take this, I'll take all that severe austerity. Please fulfill for my material desire. That is what is totally rejected in Sastra. All right. When we look at this Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 2. Okay. It says very clearly, Dharma projita kaitavatra parama nirmat sharanam satam. Vedyam vastavam atra vastu shivadam tapatrayan moolanam. Srimad Bhagavate Mahamuni krite kimva paray ishvara. Sadhyo hirdya varuditya tra kritibi shushrushubi stakshanat. So the first word, what is mentioned, Vyasadeva says, Dharma projita kaitavatra. Dharma projita kaitava. That means a religion which is materially motivated. Okay, again, I repeat again. The religion which is materially motivated. What is that materially motivated religion? Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Sometimes when you go to temple, when you do archana, the priest will start to sing Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. That means telling, give you dharma, religiosity, give you dharma, artha. Artha means fortune or this thing, artha, right? The artha means the property, fortune. Dharma, artha, kama. Kama means fulfill all your desire, uncontrolled desire, kama. Then after enjoy all this, end of the day, you become moksha. So this is called cheating religion. So dharma projita kaitavatra. In Srimad Bhagavatam, dharma means religiosity. Projita, which is cheating, projita, completely throw it away. Completely discard. All right? You're following me on this? Thumbs up if you're following me. You understand what I'm saying? If you don't understand, please ask. All right, Bonish, you understand? Others? Okay, great. So that means reject the religion which is materially motivated. Projita. Projita means completely this thing. Okay, in Bhagavad Gita, in chapter 18, text 63. Is it 63? Can anyone remember the verse? 63. No, not 63. 66. All right. If you all got a Srimad Bhagavad Gita, okay, Bhagavad Gita 18.66. Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Krishna says, Sarva Dharman Parityaja. Mam Ekam Sharanam Raja. Mam means me. Ekam, only me. Ek means one. Mam Ekam, me. Only me. Sharanam Raja. Surrender. Aham Tvam Sarva Papebhyo. Therefore, I will protect you and deliver you from all sin. Sarva Papa. Sarva Papa means all varieties of sin. All right. Papebhyo Mokshami Ma Shuchaha. So it says in 66, chapter 18, text 66, Krishna said in Bhagavad Gita, abandon all varieties of religion. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. What is that abandon all varieties of religion? Abandon means just simply drop and go, walk away. Just drop and walk out. What? Which is the cheating religion. So we must understand, nowadays the human society manufactures a system of so-called religion aimed at material advancement. Like for instance, all right, I have never heard that you should offer, what do you call, bitter gourd, pavaka, all right, or pusnika, what they call winter melon. All that you cut the thing, you dig the thing inside, you pour kind of oil, put a red cloth and offer to Bhairava, Kala Bhairava, all right? So you offer that, all your desire that you have in your heart become fulfilled. And because of this, there's one particular temple in Ipoh became so popular and became so rich when they start to create this kind of thing. So this is all manufactured, human, so-called manufactured for material advancement. This is the thing that is far from the purpose of Dharma. The purpose of Dharma is not that, because the purpose of Dharma is to understand the laws of God, all right? Because when we properly execute these laws, they will lead us out of this material entanglement. If not, we are stuck in this material entanglement. Sticking in this material entanglement will guarantee you or promise you, or it's a kind of contract given to you, that Dharma, what they call, Janma, Dharma, Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. Janma, birth, death, old age and disease is guaranteed. Okay, not only in human form of life, but in every form of life. That is the true purpose of religion. Okay, that is the true purpose of religion that leads out of material entanglement. We have to come out from this entanglement. Okay, unfortunately, people accept religion for material prosperity because of atyahara. All right, because of over endeavoring. Okay, they want to create. Okay, it's very unfortunate situation, because to be born as a human being is so rare. And after being born as a human being, and to have that intelligence to understand God, it's even rare. But after you understand the God, but understand the true religion is even more rare. But after you understand the true religion, but to know the Supreme Personality and his attribute is even more rare. And above all these rare of the rare, it is to know God in his personal form, his personal life. It is extremely rare. And since all of you are here, 11 of you are sitting here listening to this, including all those who are going to watch this video, I am telling you, you are not an ordinary person. Always believe in that. Hammer it, write it down. Maybe you can print it out and stick it on the wall. Okay. Like for instance, I've stuck, it took you 8.4 million lifetime to do what you're doing today. Think about it. It take you 8.4 million lifetime. We have been in this place since time immemorial. 430 billion 330 million years, one life of Brahma, one night of Brahma, right? Like that, we have passed through millions of Brahmas, and we are going up and going down in a Ferris wheel. We are born as a Deva, then we also have born as the worm in the stool. We also have born as a bacteria. We also have born as a cancer cell. We also have born as a virus. We have taken every form. And after exhausting all this form, we are exhausted. And today, due to some good fortune, the ultimate good fortune, you are here and you are trying to understand your original constitutional position, which is extremely rare. Okay. So it is very sad, unfortunate. People are very unfortunate. People who are poor, people who are beggar, they are not the unfortunate one. The unfortunate one, when they forget their constitutional position, when the intelligence is not intelligent enough, when the person is not intelligent enough to ask this question, despite seeing so many people dying around him. The father once died, the grandfather once died, all right, that people are loved one dying, friends dying, everybody, that former teacher dying, all one by one around us are dying, and we still believe that we're going to go on living, right? Like yesterday when I was wanted to fetch my daughter from the tuition, I saw a man, should be at least 80s. He's running. He's going on a jog, he's jogging, right? So one round, he stopped. Then he ran, he stopped. Then after that, the third round, then I said, then I just got out from the car and I just smiled at him, he smiled at me. I said, hey, uncle, wow, keeping fit, huh? I said, you should be at least 80s. Yeah, around there, around 80s. I think it should be late 70s, early 80s. All right. He said, no, I have to keep fit. You know, the body has to keep fit. You know, I will never miss running. I run every day. But those days I can run far, but now it's already. But still he's aspiring. He still believes that he's gone living. That is the most unfortunate thing. All right. So that's the thing. So when they start to accept that material prosperity, all these things because of endeavoring, atyahara, okay, or a excessive desire for such prosperity. True religion. So now Prabhupada is making true religion, however, instruct people to be satisfied with bare necessities, all right, of life while cultivating Krishna consciousness, all right? So now we are not asking you to give up and everything go into a primitive life, right? We are not saying, okay, now, okay, I'm living in a bungalow, I'm living in a big house, I'm driving a nice car. Oh, now after learning this, I have to go to the bare necessity. No, this what is not meant here. What it's meant here, remain satisfied with whatever you have. If you're living in a bungalow, if you're driving a big car, that is the blessings Krishna have given you. Just maintain it, keep it that way. Don't think about buying another bungalow. Don't think about buying another car. Don't think about going to make big more. Enough if whatever you have. Remain satisfied with that kind of life. Because when you are remain satisfied, you have already worked hard all your life. Okay. Because I see here that most of you are here are retirees, retired people, right? Like like for instance, like Skanda Balan Prabhu, I think he's retired. Then Nanda Devi Mataji, I think she also retired. Rajina is on the way. Susan Mataji, I think she's retired. Sadguna Mataji, I think she's retired. I've not seen her. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, a former doctor, a royal physician, he's retired. Vivan Manikam, all right, he's actively involved. He's not retired, he's a young boy. Kesavan, all young fellas, all right? So this is something for a retired person to consider. Okay? Retired person to consider. But for young people, like Vivan, like Bunis, or all these young people, you should think this is supposed to be your ultimate goal of life. Don't think after I'm old, I'll take this bhakti. Okay? Because as I tell you, now as we are getting older and older and older, to perform bhakti is getting not easy. All right? It's getting not easy. I also can feel the pain and all this, like I don't have that energy as what I used to have before. All right? So you do it while you are very young and active and healthy. All right, perform it. Once you're old, go into self-realization, go into self-dwelling, and try to make your life perfect and try to terminate the repeated birth and death. Even though we are required for economic development, right? Even though we are required for economic development, we need to have economic development. So true religion allows it only for supplying bare necessities of material existence. All right, bare necessity means whatever things you need to survive in this world, keep it that way. All right, don't over endeavor. Okay, you all understand? Now you have already earning good income, maintain that. Okay, maintain that and try to improve your work and try to improve your income in that particular thing. Don't give up, and that's why is what Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita. It reminds me, right? Krishna says, even you do your job, your prescribed duty imperfectly, don't give up. Do you remember that verse? In Karma Yoga, he says, even you perform your duty imperfectly, but just go on doing it and don't give it up. Because if even you're not doing perfectly, that means you know something about your job, right? Example, all right? Say like I'm a car mechanic, all right? I'm repairing the car. I'm repairing the car and everything, and I seems not to be good. Then suddenly I see a lorry mechanic, they make more money. The car mechanic, the coolie, they only make around 50 to 100 ringgit per job. But if I become a lorry mechanic, one time I can charge few hundred, right? The same time, same effort, the same engine. So while I'm not doing that, I was thinking, okay, why not? I just give up my car mechanic shed. I go into my car workshop. I go into lorry workshop. So once you go to lorry workshop, what happened? You have to start all over again, because the lorry and car is totally different. You have to start all over again, which is not recommended. So try to improve wherever you are, right? And through that, try to live life simply. That's also a recommendation from Bhagavad Gita. Okay. Now, then, okay. So proper execution of these laws ultimately leads one out of material and time. Okay, this is what we have said. Where was it? True religion, however, to instruct people to satisfy the bare necessity. Okay. Even though we require, okay. Now, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. What does it mean? The real purpose of life is to inquire about the absolute truth. So when you are free, when your mind is not agitated, when your mind is very calm enough, that means when you this thing, what you should do, you should always think about inquiring about the absolute truth. I want to know more and more about Krishna. All right. So I'm not saying anything like, for instance, like my confession, my dear mothers and Prabhus and mothers, my confession. I've been in this movement for the last 32 years. This year is my 32nd year. All right. I joined when I was 15 in 93. But till today, when I am going into the studies, I start to realize, you know what? I did not learn anything. Because I was thinking, where was this book before? And what did I learn all this while? So that's when I realized, because all this while before I was involved in Sankirtan, I used to go house to house, singing, preaching, distributing books and everything. But as we get older and older and older, so once we become, our mind become more income. So this is what we have to do, Jivasya Tattva Jignasa. So we have to inquire about the absolute truth. All right. If our endeavor, prayasa, is not to inquire, okay, that means we should utilize our endeavor or prayasa to inquiry. But if not, we will simply increase our endeavor to satisfy our artificial need. If you're not going to use it for questioning about yourself, you're going to use it for artificial needs. Okay. A spiritual aspirant, all right, should avoid mundane endeavor. Okay. Those who really aspire to become a spiritualist, wants to improve, they should always consider avoiding this mundane endeavor. All right. Another impediment. Impediment means what? Impediment means another, what is the word impediment? Tadangal in English, Tamil we call tadangal. Or?
Obstacle.
Obstacle, yes. Another obstacle. Okay, another obstacle in this bhakti is called prajalpa. This is very, very, very important, which is unnecessary talking. The more we talk, the more we are asking for trouble, right? The more we talk, the more fight will increase. Okay. So when we mix with a few friends, we immediately begin to talk unnecessary talking, right? Sounding just like a croaking toad, just like a frog, like that, just like that. All right. When two person get together, they start to talk and they just sounds like a croaking toad. If we must talk, okay, that's the thing. If we must talk, if we should talk means we should only talk about Krishna consciousness movement. Okay, those outside Krishna conscious movement are interested in reading heaps of newspaper, magazine, and novels, solving crossword puzzle, and doing so many nonsensical things. But now I think it's not so common because people are not even reading the newspaper days, right? So like I remember like last time my father also used to do that. Yeah? So what they do, they love to read the heaps of newspapers. They love to read newspaper. My father used to read paper page to page. First page, and he's addicted to newspaper. All right. Then magazines and novels. And the worst thing is solving crossword puzzle. Sometimes the newspaper at the back, below the cartoon, the New Straight Times Press, below the cartoon, there'll be a crossword puzzle. They like to sit down and try to solve the crossword puzzle. All these are total waste of time. In this fashion, people simply waste their valuable time and energy. All right. In the Western countries, old men retired from active life, play cards, fish, watch television, debate. This is very common debate about useless social political scheme. All right. Do you think Najib was good? Do you think Anwar is good? The two group of people simply talk nonsense. All right. Like as I said yesterday, when I went to KL and my brother-in-law started talk about Donald Trump and he's sacking that Ramaswamy and all this kind of, and I was just thinking, oh my God, he got nothing else to talk. And I start to express my interest. My mother realized, and my mother started to create a conversation. I started to see, and I just somehow or other walked away, very of course gracefully, right, without offending anyone. So all these things are totally nonsense. Okay, usually when people start to talk about social, political, economic schemes, all right, all these and other frivolous activities are included. All these and also frivolous. All the dangerous like rock climbing, cross country and all these are considered under the Prajalpa category. So intelligent person interested in Krishna conscious never take part in these activities. So what are the biggest Prajalpa that we are all having now is social media, right? Social media. When we go into Facebook, we are trying to see how people living life, right? How people living life, right? Oh, this person is going for this vacation. This person is went to these waterfalls and having a good waterfalls bath. This person has already gone to overseas. So we are looking at other people's life. It's all total waste of time, Prajalpa. And second Prajalpa is TikTok, right? Seeing people acting and dancing and talking about that and talking about this racism in Malaysia, talking about this and that, all kind of craps. Okay, so we should always try to avoid this. All right, as what I have done, of course, I'm inspired through Vivan. So this after I read and reread, I at last deactivated my Facebook, totally what they call deleted my TikTok and all this Instagram. That means I'm totally now social media free. Now I start to see my screen time have reduced tremendously. And the best thing is, I see my battery don't run out very quickly. My battery can last 2 days. All right. Last time, one whole day finish. Always seeing all these nonsense, seeing this and this. So now another thing that I've done, I also like stopped watching status. I went and archived all the status and I just watched the status about devotees. Sometimes devotee have something to say. I just watched that. So this is the thing. All these are prajalpas. And the only way that we can get rid of this prajalpa is consciously by understanding. All right. Sometimes when you're going to delete your Facebook, sometimes early in the morning you wake up, Facebook, but you're deleted. All right. Like my mother used to say, oh, I've forgotten. Suddenly, quite some time back. Of course, now she's a devotee chanting. She's not doing that anymore. She just wake up and say, I say, why? What happened? I forgot. What did you forget? I forget to send good morning message. Good morning. I forgot to send good morning message. So I would send the good morning message to all my friends. And suddenly one particular aunt of mine is not sending message. She got worried. She asked me, hey, can you check on that Perima? Why she's not sending good morning message? Is she okay? Then after that, she said, I think she's around our father's age because my father left the body. And suddenly there's no news from her. My mother seems to be worried. Check on her. Is she okay or not? So all these things are prajalpas, right? So we have to be very, very careful. So if you really ask me, all right, I mean, logically, I'm not being a primitive. I'm not trying to be this thing. But logically, when you see that this kind of prajalpas, this kind of checking on social media and all this is total waste of time. And sometimes it is also very frustrating. Sometimes we start to say, why that person having a good life, right? Sometimes we can't even go for holiday. We can't even go to the next town. We can't even visit our own city for holiday. On holiday day, I take my children, let's go and go walk around the town. I can't even afford to do that. But these people are going to Dubai, going here, going there, enjoying life, these are the, because this I'm telling from my own personal experience, right? Personal experience is not sensitive. Then I'll be wondering how this person can afford to go to Dubai. Then after Dubai, go to New Zealand. After New Zealand, they can go to England. Oh, these people no need to work. Where they got the money from? So that means I start to do dosa kirtana. Dosa kirtana. Kirtan. Dosha kirtan. Oh, that fellow is doing something illegal. But of course, as a human being which is so polluted, he might be very well to do. But our human mind, which is polluted, we start to think, the fellow should have done some illegal business, right? How can the person can be this rich? I think, is it? So all this kind of unnecessary prajalpa, unnecessary talking, thinking will simply spoil your bhakti, right? So now, since we are studying this nectar of instruction in a very detail, and we have already taken effort, I'm not saying a vow, we have taken effort to follow this kind of the 6 instructions step by step. So I humbly suggest, come out of social media, right? Delete your delete or deactivate your Instagram, your Facebook, and all these kind of things, which is not necessary. Even sometimes when you post something, you must understand they are not bothered to read, right? Okay, they are not really bothered to read what you have sent. You may send some philosophical thing about life, about death, no, about life, about peace, about love, and all these kind of things. But people are not really bothered. You are simply wasting your time. So that is called prajalpa. So how we do prajalpa? We do within association, right? And when you look at people with this thing. So after prajalpa, okay, prajalpa talking nonsense, that means we are talking to someone. So how to avoid prajalpa is through jana sangha. Jana sangha means associating person not interested in Krishna consciousness. Okay, those who are not interested called jana sangha. In Tamil we call janana, janangal, people. Sangha, associate with people, associate with mass people. Because as you know, the mass people are not interested in Krishna consciousness. The mass people are thinking about what is the latest this thing, and what is the latest party, what is the latest dress, what is the latest phone model. They are more interested in that, right? So they are not interested. That's why jana sangha, right? As not interested in Krishna consciousness. So one should strictly avoid such association. Okay, so they say bird of same feather flock together. You are what you are because what's your friend is all about. There's also an English saying, right? You show me your friend and I'll tell you your character. Okay, you show me your friend and I'll tell you your character. So by looking at your friend, I know what will be your character, right? Because our character is somehow or other molded through the association with friends, right? When we start to associate, that's why they say, like for instance, those who are involved in MLM, insurance companies and all this, they don't allow you to go out and talk to any other people. That's why they put meeting after meeting after meeting, because they want to keep your enthusiasm always high, right? When you go out and see, hey, why la? Come on la, why insurance? Come and do something else la. You may get diverted. So in order to avoid that, that's why you put meeting after meeting. Every Monday morning, every morning got meeting. Every evening got leadership training. Like that. So it's very important. So strictly avoid. So Narottam Das Thakur has therefore advised us to live only with the association of Krishna conscious devotees or Bhakta Sane Vasa. So now I want to, I'm not sure, but I am feeling it. I hope that I'm not sure about any of you. If any of you felt it, you can just put a comment, yes. Or if you don't feel it, you can put a comment, no. Right? Everyone there? What happened? Oh, it's here, right? Okay, so you just can put a comment, yes or no, because because I want to see your comment, yes or no. Now the question is this: we are going through, around 2 weeks ago, we did classes every day on Gita Gyan. Now we have already completed Gita Gyan. Some of you attended Gita Gyan many times. Okay. Now after the Gita Gyan, now we are started to do this Nectar of Instruction or the Sastra Marathon. So from Monday, Tuesday, of course, Wednesday we took a break. Thursday and Friday we are doing for this. So while you're attending the class on every single day, do you have some kind of transformation? Do you feel yourself more calm? Do you feel that you become better Krishna conscious? Do you think that whole day your mind is dwelling about what you have studied? Yes or no? All right. So I want to see. That means, do you really feel like kind of whole day you feel very divine? Okay. So I would like to see your comment. So please comment yes or no. So by that I know. So that are we progressing positively? Nanda Devi, yes. Boni is yes. Right? Oh, Nanda Devi Mataji gave a big yes. How about others? Come on. I'm just asking you not to unmute and speak. I just ask you to send a message. Chat box, send a message, yes or no. But those who don't know how to send message, you just can unmute yourself and say yes or no.
Yes.
Okay, yes. Feel connected with Krishna, yes. All right.
Yes,
So,
Prabhu.
who's that? Who's that said yes?
Sadguna Mataji.
Oh, Sadguna Mataji. Okay. Vaishnava Kripa Babu say yes. Okay. All right. I think others don't have access to message. They're listening. Yes. Kesavan also say yes. Yeah. Right. So why? Why suddenly we feel this kind of divine feeling? All right. I was even advised by one of the devotees, says, hey, come, you should slow down. Don't do class every day. I say, cannot. You know, I think Rusan Mataji was with me when the devotee told me to do this. He asked me to slow down. I say, cannot. Because I feel so good talking about this. You know, morning I do this, then evening, I know, evening, like yesterday, Thursday, we had a fantastic kirtan, right? We had a fantastic kirtan. And last Tuesday also, we had a kirtan in our Namahat center. And after that, tomorrow, one day, then Sunday, I'm going to have this Sunday program in our ISKCON center. So what is happening? So when we are going on doing this again and again and again, you feel like so divine. You feel so connected. You know, you feel your senses are very satisfied. All right. But if you don't do this, okay, I experienced this. Let me tell you my experience, right? I've been doing this, what they call this, Krishna, I mean, this Gita Gyan, batch 1, batch 2, batch 3, batch 4, batch 5. Back to back. In between, there's only around 1 or 2 weeks break. 1 week or 2 weeks at maximum. And some even only few days. Finish 18, start back number 1. So I was going through this. The one incident. Okay, the last incident, of course, I got chicken pox. I couldn't do the class for 2 weeks. But that is different because I was at home. But in between, there's one incident happened when my aunt passed away, right? In Sungai Petani. All right. I think some of you know that because I took leave and went there. I think I canceled the class for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, right? Oh my God. Went there with my cousins and all these things. You know, they're talking about life, success, women, enjoyment, and all this. When they start to, I felt like I was like totally like absorbed into that, you know. We have to be very careful. We may think, I've been talking about it. I'm quite advanced devotee. No, it won't work that way. I couldn't chant. When I start to chant, yeah, I think I should stop chanting and start to like have good life, you know. You know, I should go back to my business. Wow, no, life as a business is different, you know. Then after that, what happened? When I start the class back after that break, I couldn't even start talking. When I start to present, I am somehow or other stuck. My mouth was like as though my tongue became numb. The first day I was in full kurta dhoti with tilak. All right. Next day I was on my kurta and jeans with tilak. The third day I was with t-shirt and jeans without tilak. Can you imagine what happened? So the association is very, very, very important. All right. So Jana Sangha means only that association. Bhakta Sangha is very, very important. Jana Sangha is extremely dangerous, even how advanced a person can be. All right. So one should always engage in the service of the Lord in the association of the devotees. That is why I want to do these things. That means what we are doing, we are engaging in service of the Lord. Okay, what are the service of the Lord is recommended by Prahlad Maharaj in Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5. All right. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu. Shravanam, hearing. Kirtanam, singing. Vishnu, Pada Sevanam, worshipping the lotus feet. So we are doing the first step of devotional service. Right? What we are singing, what we are doing is Sravanam, Kirtanam. That means we are listening and we are speaking. Right? So we are engaging, speaking and listening. So that is it. So what we are, that's why I created this Japa Marathon group. Japa Marathon, the Sastra Marathon group. Why? Because I know I'm not so advanced. I can't do this alone. So when we do in a team, it's the feeling is totally different. And it's very enthusiastic. You know, I'm a very lazy by nature. If only there's no the Sangha, I should have like, take a break, no need today. Right? Today school holiday starts. No, next week my son's holiday also start. All my children will be at home. Monday, I take them there. Tuesday, I go for a waterfalls. Wednesday, maybe I can go to Tulobate, that seaside. And Thursday, okay, I cancel my Namahat program. All these kind of things will be seen. But since we have committed, like yesterday, it was a terrible rain in Ipoh, in my area. But I know these students, like these boys and girls, like Kesavan and all these Krishna Rubin, all over there spitting. Even though it's a terrible torrents of rain, still we went because the commitment is there. Because that is Jana, that's a Bhakta Sangha. It's very important. So always engage in devotional service in the association of the Lord's devotee, right? And I'm so fortunate to know each and every one of you. I'm considered the most fortunate person around, to have association with all of you who are so eager to read and study the Sastra. Association with those engaged in similar line of business is very conducive. Prabhupada is telling. Association of engaged similar line of business is very conducive in advancement in that business. Consequently, materialistic person forms various association and clubs, all right? Enhance their endeavor. For example, the business world find the institution of like stock exchange, chamber of commerce, right? Like Lions Club, Lioness Club for children, right? And say like association, right? Persatuan Penjual Surat Kabar. Okay, the association of a paper vendor. Like last time we have our association of spare part dealer. So why we have that association? Because in that association, we talk and we can exchange, we can learn so that we can establish our business. We can improve our business, right? So like that. So even in normal success, material success also, we need to have this kind of association, all right? Similarly, we have established the International Society for Krishna Consciousness. Like Prabhupada is telling, what is the purpose of creating ISKCON? All right. So to give people an opportunity to associate with those who have not forgotten Krishna. Okay. So to give an opportunity for people who have not forgotten Krishna. The spiritual association offered by our ISKCON movement is increasing day by day. Many people from different parts of the world are joining the society to awaken their dormant Krishna consciousness. Okay, dormant Krishna consciousness. So Prabhupada is saying the reason that he created ISKCON to create Bhakta Sangha. If you don't have that Bhakta Sangha, the only option is Jana Sangha. All right, like in every garden, every taman, we have the residents association. Some or other people want to get into some kind of association. For that reason, therefore, Krishna Prabhupada have established the ISKCON. Now we understand what is that the idea behind ISKCON. Okay, now, so Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur wrote in Anuvritti commentary. All right, Anuvritti commentary means the commentary that on this Nectar of instruction. Okay, the same commentary Bhakti Vinod wrote is called Bhakti Aloka. But what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati wrote is called Anuvritti. Now you see the difference? All right. Now, he said that too much endeavor to acquire knowledge, all right, on the part of mental speculator or dry philosopher also fall under the category of Atyahara. All right. That means endeavor to acquire knowledge on the part of mental speculator or dry philosopher also fall under this thing, Atyahara, which is collected more than necessary. It reminds me, all right, one of my father's friend. My father was he was a former dispenser working in a hospital. One of his good friend, who is a doctor, he have retired. So one day we went and visited him. When my father was around, one day for I think for some reason, I think to deliver my sister's wedding invitation, I think. At that time, I'm talking about around 25, 20 years or something like that. He was at that time itself, he was something like around 80s, right? 80s. My father's senior, right, in hospital. So we went and gave the card. And you know what he was doing? In his house is full of medical journal. All right. His house with all the latest medical journal, latest ruling about in medical science, medical, what they call the law for, there's a term for that, medical legal, something, right? Pharmacolegal, medical legal. So all the latest things. And he got all the magazines, he's sitting there and reading. So when I went there, I asked, Uncle, you're already retired. Why are you reading all these medical, the latest innovation, the latest discovery, the latest medicine, all this latest magazine on medicine he's studying, he's reading. I said, Uncle, what is the idea of you doing this? And you know what he said? I want to keep abreast. I want to keep myself always updated with the latest technology. But that man is already 80 plus. All right. He's very frail, very old. and yet he still want to wasted his life by keeping abreast, keeping updated of the latest technology, latest medicine, latest this. What is the point? The same thing happened, all right, in Adi Shankara. Adi Shankara, you know Adi Shankara, right? The Adi Shankara once went to Kasi. When he went to Kasi, he saw a ripe old man, all right, very old man. Okay, he's sitting there and he's doing some research on grammar. All right, he's doing some research on grammar, on Sanskrit grammar. You all understand? He's doing some, like some even Tamil poets, Pullavar. They try to do, oh, what is this word try to? No, they try to. And that old man is doing research on the Sanskrit grammar. When Adi Shankara, when he went along with his disciple, when he saw this old man doing this, he got very agitated. Adi Shankara became very angry. And that's when he sang the famous song. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Mudapate. Right? Right? Let me see.
Mudamade.
Mudamadi. Adi Shankara. Bhaja Govindam by Adi Shankara. Okay, let me see. Bhaja Govindam Adi Shankara. All right, the translation. Let me see. So, all right. All right. The background of Bhaja Govindam is worth examining. During his stay in Kasi, Adi Shankara noticed a very old man studying the rules of Sanskrit by Panini. Shankara was touched and agitated with pity of seeing the plight of that old man, spending his years of a mere intellect accomplished while he would be better by praying and spending time in control his mind. Right? So, what he says, where's the translation? All right, Bhaja, okay, so it's written in Sanskrit. Anyway, I'll just read the translation. Worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, oh fool. So, what happened? Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Muda Mate. So, he's telling that old man, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda, oh fool. Rules of grammar will not save you at the time of your death. All right? Because he's doing the research on Panini Sanskrit. So he's telling, you give up all these fool because it's not going to save you. Then after that he says, oh fool, give up your thirst to amass wealth, to amaze wealth. Devote your mind and thoughts to the real. Be content with what comes through the action already performed in the past. Do not get drowned in delusion by going wild with passion and lust by seeing a woman's navel and chest. These are nothing but a modification of flesh. Fail not to remember this again and again in your mind. All right? This life is a person uncertain as raindrops. Okay, see how nicely he said. The life of a person is as uncertain as raindrop trembling on a lotus leaf. Know that the whole world remains as prey to disease, ego, and grief. So long as man is fit and able to support his family, see what affection all those around him show. But no one at home cares to even have a word with him. Even his body totters due to old age. When one is alive, his family members inquire kindly about his welfare. But when the soul departs from the body, even his wife run away in fear of the corpse. It's a very uplifting this thing. So that's the thing. So we should always think that's all atyahara, wasting time by reading all kind of magazines and try to keep us abreast. So according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the endeavor of philosophical speculators to write volumes of books on dry philosophy, which is devoid of Krishna consciousness, is entirely futile. All right. We see like so many people are writing the books. So many books are getting published. Book on mind, book on life, book on happiness, book on peace, book on love. All these are dry speculators and all these are total waste of time because there's nothing Krishna is mentioned here. So what Prabhupada is mentioning, okay, now it's Anuvritti. That means what Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati is mentioning, everything is futile, waste of time. The work of Karmis, who writes volumes of books on economic development, also falls with the category Atyahara. Similarly, those who have no desire in Krishna consciousness, those who have no desire for Krishna consciousness, and who are simply interested in possessing more and more material thing, either in the shape of scientific knowledge or monetary gain, are all included under the control of Atyahara. All right? All of them are under control of Atyahara. Okay? Now, okay, we're going to finish today. Karmis or labor. Karmis labor to accumulate. Yes, Prabhu, Vaishnava Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu. Vaishnava Kripa Prabhu, you raised your hand.
Where did you get the meaning of the lyrics of Bhajagovindam? Where did you get it from, Prabhu?
Online. I just Google it just now.
Googling.
I'll forward to you, Prabhu.
Yeah. Thank you.
Right. Okay, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. So the karmis or labor to accumulate, karmi labor. Karmi means the materialist, labor. Labor means work hard. To accumulate more and more money for future generation. All right? Only because they do not know their future position. They don't understand what is their future position. Interested in getting more and more money for their sons and grandsons. Such foolish person do not even know what is going to be the next position in the next life. This is also my real life experience. One of my uncle, I said, you have already earned enough. What are you working for? Oh, I've earned enough for me. I'm working for my sons. Then after that, he said, I want to work for my grandchildren. This is quite common, especially. I'm not sure whether you have experience, but in my side, this is quite common. All the oldies, all my uncles, all when I see them around 80s, I say, you're 80, why are you still endeavoring? Now I'm accumulating property for my grandson. I'm creating gold for my granddaughter when she want to get married. So these are the things they are working. But these foolish people do not know what is going to be the next position in their next life. There are many incidents that illustrate this thing. So one example Prabhupada is quoting here is, a great karmi accumulate a vast fortune for his sons and grandsons. But later, according to his karma, he took birth as a cobbler house, all right, in a cobbler house located near to the building. That means that big great karmi who accumulated so much of property, after he passed away, in next birth, he born beside his house, a cobbler. Cobbler means the one who repair the shoes, right? Oh, okay, cobbler. He born in a cobbler's house, which in his previous life he had constructed for his children, right? Near the house that he constructed. It so happened that when the very cobbler came to the former house, that means the cobbler who former millionaire, he went back to his former house. What happened? His sons and grandson beat him with a shoe. And chase him out. Unless the karmi and jnanis, unless the karmis and jnanis become interested in Krishna consciousness, they will simply continue to waste their life in a fruitless activity. All right. They are just simply waste their life in fruitless activity. Talking about fruitless activity is quite common nowadays. I remember when I was young time, people used to plant coconut tree, rambutan tree, mango tree, because they want to plant a tree, of course, for oxygen, for cleanliness. But at the same time, they want the tree to produce some kind of fruit so people can enjoy. But nowadays, you see all the governments are planting this kind of palm tree and all the trees which is so useless, who doesn't give anything. And in fact, so many people are also interested in that. So suddenly I remember that anyway, out of the topic. So now, I think this is the last paragraph. Oh, there's another two more. Okay. So, then now we are talking about Niyagamagraha. Okay, Niyamagraha. Okay, that means accepting the spiritual rules and regulation for immediate benefit. All right. The Ultiratian advocate, as Ultiratian's advocate is called Niyamagraha. Niyamagraha. There's a dash on top. All right. That means I just follow the rules and regulation just for my immediate result. Example, tomorrow is Sattila Ekadasi. if you fast on Satyila Ekadasi, all your sin or karma as big as Mount Meru will destroy in the half of the eye blink if you fast. They say, oh, okay, I want to fast so that I want to achieve the result. All my karma to be destroyed if I just simply don't eat tomorrow. That is Niyamagraha. Right? So follow the scriptural rules for immediate benefit. You got it? And neglecting the rules and regulation of the Sastra, which are meant for spiritual development. So if you fast for Ekadasi day, all right? If you fast for Ekadasi day, you're going to achieve a great success, all right? Especially in spiritual life, all right? You get more benefit. Your chances of going back home, back to Godhead has been increased and all this, all right? But we don't think about that. What am I going to do it, all right? So what am I going to do it is, I want to accept. I want to burn all my karma so that I feel better. So therefore, I just fast. What Ekadasi day, what you should do, you should chant more rounds. All right, you chant more rounds. Don't worry about what you're going to eat, but you should think about chanting more rounds. Since tomorrow is Saturday, I hope that each and every one of you can chant at least 24 rounds. All right, so that's the thing. But at the same time, reject everything. Find it so troublesome. We call Niyam Agraha. All right. So the word Agraha means eagerness to accept. Agraha means failure to accept. Okay, you see the word A. All right, you can see the difference. A with a dash on top, and this is A without a dash. So means Agraha, failure to accept. This is Agraha, means eagerness to accept. All right. By addition to either of these two, the words Niyama, the rules. Okay, the rules and regulation. The word Niyamagraha means is formed. Okay, that means by Niyama. That means rules and regulation. Agraha, to accept or to reject. Okay, is created. Thus, Niyamagraha has twofold meaning. Okay, that is okay. Just I get a lighter color. Okay, twofold meaning. That is understanding according to the particular combination of the words. Those interested in Krishna consciousness should not be eager to accept rules and regulation, all right, for economic advancement. All right, we should not follow the rules and regulation for economic advancement. Example, now you fast on Ekadasi day, of course, you're going to get a lot of fortune. So I'm not fasting Ekadasi to get fortune. So we should not do that. Yet, they should very faithfully accept the scriptural rules and regulation for advancement in Krishna consciousness. All right. And they should strictly follow the regulatory principle by avoiding illicit sex, meat eating, gambling, and intoxication. Right? One should avoid association with Mayavadis. All right. So now we have already spoke about Niyamagraha, right? So now another thing. So one should avoid association with Mayavadis. Who's Mayavadi? The one like Buddhist, like Jainism, right? They are all considered Mayavadi. Or the one who says God is formless, God is nothing, like a worship of what is it? The man with the white cloth, Vallalar and all this, they are all Mayavadis, right? So we should avoid our association with Mayavadis, all right? It's very important. Because on the extreme part, what they do, they simply blaspheme Vaishnava. They always criticize the Vaishnava devotees. So Bhukti Kamis, who are interested in material happiness, Mukti Kamis, who desire for liberation and emerging in existence of the formless. Okay, now, okay, let me highlight this also. Suddenly, my mouse is, okay, now. Okay, now we understand Bhukti Kamis. Who is Bhukti Kamis? All right, Bhukti Kamis means who are interested in material happiness. For them, they want to enjoy. Second kind of people is Mukti Kamis. Mukti Kamis were those who desire for liberation by merging into existence of formless absolute truth. All right, that means Brahman. That means they want to merge into light. And number 3 is Siddhi Kamis. Siddhi Kamis is who desire to perform mystic yoga practice, are classified as Atyaharis. All right. And the last thing to associate with this kind of people is not desirable. So now, what are the people we should avoid? Number 1, we should avoid Mayavadis. Why? Because they blaspheme Vaishnava. They always criticize the devotees. It's very dangerous to blaspheme Vaishnava. Right? Number 2, Bhukti Kami, who only interested in material happiness. God, later. Now I'm going to go to Genthings, your God can help me. Okay, I pray to Venkatachalapati, so I go to Genthings, I can strike big money. I go to the casino, gamble. So they are not only interested in appearance, okay? The third kind of people is mukti kami. That means they desire to merge into the light, formless, like Buddhists. They want to merge into the light. Nirvana. Nir means none. Vana means place, the place that doesn't exist. Just go into that. Or the last one is siddhi kami. That means those who want to perfect their mystic yoga. Right? They are all want to do yoga. You know, they want to do more and more yoga. Right? Like there's one story here in the Bhakti Vinod Thakur. He was a magistrate. He went to one village. There he saw a yogi written after 20 years meditating in Himalayas. After 20 years. After meditate, he came back. Then the whole village went to see him. Oh, there's a yogi came back. No, go and visit him. Then all the people gathered. He said, now I'm going to show you my mystic, my siddha. All right. What did I achieve by doing this kind of yoga? And you know what? He said, I'm going to cross from that end to this end, the river, from that bank to this bank, and I'm going to walk on the water. Okay. You all ready? Then the whole villages all get together. They all standing there. And he saw that yogi crossing the river by walking on the water. And everybody start to cheer. Wow, great yogi. You did 20 years meditation. Wow, wow, wow. And somehow or other, the story went to Bhakti Vinod Thakur. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur was there and he suddenly burst out laughing. He was laughing. Ha, 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 he was laughing. And all the villagers asked, Mr. Magistrate, because he was a magistrate, all right? Nobody dared to offend him. He's a British magistrate. Yes, sir, why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? I said, stupid fella. I just need to pay 20 paisa to the boatman. He could take me from this end to that end. But this fella wasted 20 years sitting in meditating in Himalayas so that he could walk on the water. How foolish. You all get this idea? Okay? You all understand what I'm saying? Thumbs up. If not, thumbs down. All right? So that yogi wasted 20 years, tried to walk on the water. And Bhakti Vinod Thakur said, I only need to pay 20 paisa, 20 cents. I give to the boat fella, the boatman. He could put me in the boat and I can cross over. Just 20 cents. So what he called it? 20 cents austerity. Perform all the austerity so you could walk on the water. Total waste. That's why all these things. So what Prabhupada is telling, to associate with such a person, it is not desirable. Okay, I think this is the last paragraph. Two last paragraph. All right. Desire to expand the mind. Desire to expand the mind by perfecting mystic yoga or merge into the existence of Brahman or to attain whimsical material prosperity. All right. Material prosperity are all included within the category of greed, laulya. Okay, greedy. What is that? Perfect in mystic yoga, merge in Brahman light, or attain so much of property, all called under laulyam or greedy. All attempts to acquire such material benefit or so-called spiritual advancement are impediment to the path of Krishna consciousness. So that means we understand all these things is going to be under the impediment or what they call what is the word just now? Prabhu said tarangal in English, blockage. Okay. What is the word Prabhu you said just now? What is the tarangal in English? Yeah.
Obstacle.
Hurdles, Prabhu.
Obstacle. All right. So it's going to be the obstacle in the path of this thing. That means greed, laulyam. Modern warfare waged between the capitalists and communists. All right. The modern war, you see, is fight between capital and communists. All right. Is due to the avoiding of advice of Srila Rupa Goswami regarding Atyahara. All right. Modern capitalists accumulate more wealth than necessary. And the communists envious. The communist flair will become very envious. All right, now I think there's no more communists. There's a very less communists in the world. Those days, they are really hate America, they see, because they see that the capitalists, they have so much of properties. So the communists envious of their property. And what they do, they want to nationalize the wealth and property. I mean, they say all the properties and wealth belong to the nation. But unfortunately, the communists do not know how to solve the problem of wealth and its distribution. They do not know how to solve. Consequently, when the wealth of the capitalists falls into the hands of communists, so when the communists go and capture them, when the thing falls, no solution results. Opposed of these two philosophies, the Krishna conscious ideology state that all wealth belong to Krishna. Isha Vasya Idam Sarvam. We will study that when we study Ishopanishad. Verse 1. right? Isha Upanishad will study that. That means all wealth belongs to Krishna. Okay. Thus, unless all wealth comes under the administration of Krishna, there can be no solution to the economic problem of mankind. And sometimes Prabhupada called this as spiritual communism, because everything belongs to God, and I take everything centralized or belongs to God, belongs to Krishna. I only take with something which is necessary with me. All right, Isha Upanishad, verse 1. So nothing can be solved by placing wealth in the hands of communists or capitalists. If $100 bill is lying on the street, so if $100 bill lying on the thing, one may pick up. All right. Okay, let me see. This is why my mouse is running away. All right. Okay, let me lock it. If $100 bill lying on the street, someone may pick up and put it in his pocket. Such a man is not honest. All right. You see the money he put in the pocket is not honest. But another man see the money and decide to let it remain there. Okay, it's not my money, so I'm not going to touch it. Thinking that he should not touch other people's property. Although the second man does not steal, although he does not steal the money for his own purpose, okay, but he is unaware of proper use, right? So even though he didn't steal the money, but he's not unaware, he doesn't know. He did not realize how to properly use it. But the third man, what he did, he sees the $100 bill, pick it up, and find the man who lost it and deliver it to him, right? He find the money, he'll take it and pass back to the person who have lost it. So this man does not steal the money to spend for himself. He does not steal the money to spend for himself, nor does he neglect it or let it be or let it lie on the street by taking it. So what do you do? By taking it and delivering it to the man who lost, this man is both honest and wise. So what is that analogy here? So that means we know that we should not, what they call? Whatever properties that we have, okay, we should not be neglectful. Number one, that means the man who neglect the money. At the same time, that means we should not take it thinking it's mine. All the things that we have, this is my house, my property, all right? That is, we are not honest. Number two is the person who neglect it. Okay, it's not mine, so I'm not going to touch it. That's also not so intelligent. But the third person is, whatever things that I have, I offer it to Krishna because it belongs to him. So when I offer all these things, that means this is the person is called honest and wise. By simply transferring the wealth from capitalists to the communists cannot solve the problem of modern politics. For it has been demonstrated that even a communist gets money, he uses it to his own sense gratification. Okay, so we also know when the communists get money, they also use it for his own happiness by creating more bomb, more this thing, more guerrilla warfare and all these things. The wealth of the world actually belongs to Krishna. Okay, only belong to Krishna. And every living entity, man and animal, has the birthright. Okay, he has the birthright to what? To use it, to use God's property for his maintenance. So, okay, when one takes more than his maintenance, when one takes more than his maintenance requires, he is a capitalist or a communist. He is a thief. So what Prabhupada says, a capitalist or a communist is considered a thief, and as such, he is liable to be punished. He is liable to be punished by the law of nature. Okay, the wealth of world should be used for the welfare of all living entities. For that is the plan of Mother Nature. Everyone has the right to live by utilizing the wealth of the Lord. When people learn the art of scientifically utilizing the Lord's property, they will no longer encroach upon another right. Like, for instance, I'm staying in one house with all my brothers, but whenever I see my father's property, I take it and hide it in my room. So when I do that, my brothers are losing their their rights to utilize whatever things that have hidden it. Similarly, the whole earth has created all the things which belongs to Krishna for every of our maintenance. But when one particular person take it and hide it for his own greed, laulium, that is, these are the person is encroaching. All right. So these are the person called encroach. All right. So that means there will be no, I mean, we should not encroach on other people's life. All right. So we should learn scientifically utilizing the Lord's property. Okay. Then an ideal society can be formed. If you do that, When everybody live according to their scheme, the ideal society can be formed. The basic principle of such is, this is the verse, right? From Ishopanishad. What is the verse? Isha Vasham Idang Sarvam Yat Kincha Jagatyam Jagat Tena Tyaktena Bunjita Ma Grida Kashya Svitnanam. Everything animate or inanimate that is within this universe is controlled and owned by the Lord. One should therefore accept only those things necessary for himself. Those things only necessary for himself, which are set aside by his quota, which is set aside as his quota, and should not accept things knowing well to whom they belong. Right? So, Krishna consciousness devotee very well that know very well that this material world is designed by complete arrangement of Lord to fulfill the necessity of life for all living beings. Okay, necessity for all living beings, without they are having to encroach upon life or rights of another thing. So we do not need to encroach or cross upon other people's life or other people's rights. The complete arrangement affords the proper quota of wealth for everyone according to his real needs, and thus everyone may live peacefully according to the principle of plain living and high thinking. Unfortunately, materialists who have neither faith in the plan of God or any aspiration for higher spiritual development misuse their God-given intelligence, only to augment the material possession. They devise many systems, which is as capitalist and materialistic communism. Okay, materialistic communism to advance their material position. They are not interested in the laws of God, in a higher goals, always anxious to fulfill their unlimited desire for sense gratification, and they are conspicuous by their ability to exploit their fellow living being. Right? They are always conspicuous by exploit, right? Like one country is exploiting another country for the sake of advancement. When human society gives up this elementary fault, what is this elementary fault? This is the basic fault. So this basic fault is actually a very big fault, right? So they say elementary fault, enumerated by Srila Goswami Goswami as Atyahara, etc. All enmity will cease between man and animal, capitalists and communists, and so forth. In addition, all problems of economic and political maladjustment and instability will be solved. This pure consciousness is awakened by proper spiritual education and practice offered scientifically by Krishna conscious movement. This Krishna conscious movement offers, it's a very important thing. This Krishna conscious movement offers a spiritual community that can bring about a peaceful condition in the world. Every intelligent man should purify his consciousness and rid himself of the above mentioned 6 hindrances to devotional service by taking wholeheartedly shelter of this Krishna conscious movement. So by doing this, we are improving ourselves by avoiding these 6 faults. So what are the 6 faults? Atyahara, prayayascha, prajalpa, niyamagraha, janasanga, cha laulyam cha, sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. Atyahara, overeating, over collecting. Prayasas, over endeavoring. Prayasa padrathu, over endeavoring, working so hard for something which is useless. Prajalpa, talking nonsense. Right? Niyamagraha, following the rules for the sake of for sense gratification, or not following the rules at all. Niyamagraha. Janasanga, associating with worldly minded people, those who are not a devotee, associating with them. And laulyam, greed. So greedy. So when all these 6 kind of things, when we cannot, we have to follow. If not, sadbir bhaktir vinashyati. If not, we do see, by these 6, devotional service is destroyed. With that, we end the session here. Thank you so much. Now we open for questions. Is there any questions? Any comment? This is why poor gets poorer and wealth gets wealthier. The gap is created by us because the quota system created by God is not properly. Am I true? Yes, exactly. That is the thing. The rich is getting richer because there's a term called monopoly. In every businessman, They are always thinking on this idea about monopoly. Even when even when I was doing business also, I tried to monopolize. All right, I tried to bring some goods that no one brought. Exactly, like that. That you see that behind the truck there'll be a crane. Okay, you don't need forklift. I was the first to bring. When I first brought it, I was thinking, yo, where to sell? Then suddenly I got an idea. I went and looked for a fisherman. I said, why not? You don't pull the thing. You just take the thing and put. No, all this kind of nonsense thing I did. And because of this, my karma, I don't know how many fish get killed or how many. Anyway, so they are always thinking about monopoly. Every businessman try to bring something and they want to monopolize things. All right. So that's why the rich is getting richer and richer and richer and richer. All right. And the poor is getting poorer and poorer. All right. Why? Okay. How do all that the richest man in Malaysia became rich? All right. How did Ananda Krishnan became rich? How this guy, Vincent Tan, how he became rich? Because monopoly. Every project that government will only give it to them. If they're going to give it distributed equally to everybody, there's no harm. But what Ahmad Bukhtari, Bukhtari, huh? What he did now, he monopolized rice, Bernas. All right. Bernas is under him. Any rice enters the country must come through him. Oh, absurd. All right. When we talk about in medical line, Pharma Niaga, all right, every medicine that we buy, we have to buy through them, even though it's expensive. Even I've got access to directly buy from the manufacturer, which I can get cheaper. Or I say if I buy, say one example, I buy one strap of Panadol, maybe cost me, maybe my cost price, maybe 80 cents. But because I have to buy through these jokers, I have to pay 1 ringgit, just 20 cents extra for them. This is what the foolish way of what they call running the government. Capitalists. This is what they call capitalists. Right? They are all work. They try to monopolize. They try to hold this by themselves. So when one person is monopolized, there'll be no chance for another person. Right? Like for instance, now they're talking about another thing which is totally bad is setting up malls in every town and village. All right. In Ipoh itself, we see how many Aeon Mall. How many malls are mushrooming out? They are destroying all the small grocers. And in between, the small grocers are struggling to survive. Then another thing like Speedmart 99 is opening every town. All right. Like for instance, like in Ipoh from Chumo up to my area, it's around less than 3 kilometers. They have 8 outlets on Speedmart 99. What happened? All the small grocers all dying. So they becoming even more poorer. So this is what they call the capitalists. But the communists, you know what they do? They take everything and keep it to themselves. You can be a doctor, you can be a farmer. All of you get paid the same salary. If a doctor paid 1,000, the farmer also paid 1,000. Right? You have no demand. Oh, I'm a doctor, so I earn more. No such thing. That is communism. But they put everybody in that, they suppress everybody. But the ruler is called the dictator. He live life lavishly. Like what happened in Romania. Right? I don't know whether I think some of you have not even heard of it. You have not even born that time. Or you're young. Right? The Romania, that guy, there's a president of Romania, the big dictator. What he does? Today he wears a coat. That time Romania was under communist. He wears a coat. After that, he just get down, the coat is chopped and they burn it. And one coat Armani set is costing 4,000 something. That time I'm talking about. Because I was following very closely about world economy. I think it should be around when I was during my college time. Right? During my college, I was following. So the coat and suit worth 4,000, 3,000 ringgit. And people are starving, they're dying. So after you wear the thing, you just throw, they'll burn the coat and they make a new one. 30 days, he wear 30 different kind of dress. Everything is thrown. This is what happened, communist. They suppress the people, the dictator enjoy. But at the end of the day, they catch him and they shot him like a dog. All right, they brought him and he and his wife both were shot dead. So that's the thing that there's a tug of war between the capitalists and the communists. Capitalists, they try to capitalize, they try to keep that the what they call the relation with the government and everything. You scratch my back, I scratch your back. They start to monopolize everything. All right, that no new people can come in. All right, but the communists, they take everything, the government control, and all the people suffer, and the government official enjoy. So both are terrible. These fellows hate that fellow, and that fellow hate this fellow. Right, but the one who suffers, we as a human being, we as the poor soul, poor citizen, we suffer the terrible consequences. So therefore, Krishna says, that's why he says, Ishavasya principle is very important, right? When a person can follow the instruction of this, what they call Rupa Goswami, especially, right? So when we can follow that instruction of Rupa Goswami, we can create unbelievable this thing, right? Atyahara prayayascha. Atyahara. Don't eat too much. Don't collect too much. That means whatever that you're supposed to collect goes to others, right? Prayayas. Don't work so hard. Don't endeavor. Don't kill yourself. Don't work hard for perishable thing. Don't bet your life for something that's not going to last. Because that's what I used to advise the Singaporeans, those who are working in Singapore. I say, why are you betting? Why are you exchanging your life for some mere 5,000, 10,000 ringgit? You know, you're taking a big risk. If you die, you're gone. Right? Prayayas, or over endeavoring, right? Then Prajalpa, don't talk nonsense. The whole world, everybody start talking. Even you go to this everywhere, right? When there's a friend gathering, family gathering, even in restaurant, like last time, I used to Petron, all these places, like sometimes when we go to the pub, this thing we see the people are drinking. When they start to drink, they start to talk nonsense. When this people talk nonsense, after talk nonsense, palm, finish the bottle and everything, everything start flying. Prajalpa, this thing. Then Niyamagraha, follow the rules for the sake of, oh, okay, I have done so much of sin in my life. So tomorrow Sattila Ekadasi, I fast, all my sin fly away. Right? Oh, okay. Today's Ekadasi, I must make sure that what I'm okay. What can I eat? Oh, I can eat this. I can eat that. Oh, then they call, Prabhu, can I eat this? What they call this? What they call? Like buckwheat. There's another thing, right? There's a small yellow thing. Yellow thing. You know what they call? Kudra wale, something. What is it? What is it? Can anyone? What do you call that? The yellow things, small things. Or anyway, so some of it is not green, some of it green. Oh, can I do this? I mean, they are so worried because they want to eat. They want to follow the rules for the sake of it. I want to follow the rules because I want to this thing. Okay. But some people say, all this nonsense, no need to follow any rules, right? No need to follow any rules. Just go on living life, eat, sleep, and be merry. Eat, drink, and be merry, right? Just what is the point you're following the rules? You're still sick. What is the point you're following rules? You are stressed. I mean, it doesn't make any difference, right? It's only a human concoction. It's only your imagination, right? Just forget it. Just throw all the rules because the rules are primitive. It's holding me. Niyamagraha. Following the rules for the sake of it and not following the rules, right? This reject. Then after that, Janasangha. Don't associate with devotees who are not interested in Krishna conscious. Because like what we have, like some of you have shared here, when we are keep talking, when we are associating every single morning, we start to feel a big transformation start happening in our life, right? And at the end of the day, Lauliam, which is going to be our greed. Okay. So tomorrow, okay, now I want to ask you, all right. So tomorrow, what we're going to discuss is the 6 principles that conducive. What are the 6 things that you should have to improve your bhakti? All right. If you want to become successful in bhakti, what are the 6 characteristics you have? Utsahan, and enthusiasm, excitement, all these things we're going to discuss. Okay, but as we know, our classes are Monday to Friday. Yes or not? So tomorrow is Saturday. All right. And tomorrow school holiday. So my children are no one's going to the school. So tomorrow morning, I'll be free. Do you think you want to meet tomorrow morning to discuss on text 3 or we continue on Monday? Because Sunday morning, we have Sunday program. Okay. So tomorrow morning, so far, I don't think I have any commitment. Do you think that we want to continue tomorrow morning or we continue on Monday? All right. So what is your desire? Please discuss in the group that you prefer. You want to do it tomorrow morning from 9 to 11, or maybe you can do even a further bit, 12 noon. All right. Because tomorrow is Ekadasi also. So, and then there's also some person also requested. They say, since tomorrow is Ekadasi, do we need to, why we do not sleep at night? Right? Of course, Ekadasi is by prescription. They don't sleep at night, this thing. But of course, but only one Ekadasi we practice, that is Vaikuntha Ekadasi. But since tomorrow is Saturday, if you think you want to practice that, just example, maybe we can get together on Zoom. We can chant, or we can discuss, or we can all group japa, whatever it is. All right. If any of you have that kind of interest, please comment in the group. All right. So I want to know, because the 10 of you are my most precious one, because you are attending all the classes without fail. So if it's okay, tomorrow morning you want to have the class, we can continue verse 3, the third instruction that is conducive for spiritual life. If it's not, we will meet again on Monday morning. All right. So now Rajina Mataji says she can. All right. But I think it's better that we can discuss in the group so that so many people can participate. All right. So if we can't, it's okay. Don't feel bad about it. Okay. If you think you don't want to mention in the group, you want to send to me personally, also okay. All right. So like that. Oh, it's already 11:20. So thank you so much for the wonderful time. All right. Imagine this verse 2. We have only discussed 2 days, part 1, and today's part 2, the last part. But Bhakti Vinod Thakur compiled it in an entire book. Right. I heard that some of you have already printed Bhakti Aloka, right? They have already printed the book and they are reading. And imagine this one instruction, he has compiled it into this series called Bhakti Aloka. We will discuss after we complete our entire Nectar of instruction. Okay. So anyway, thank you so much. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you. I'm so grateful for your enthusiasm. I'm very fortunate to be in association with every one of you. So whatever I've said, if I've offended you, please kindly forgive me, because now we should understand we are going to the next level. We are no longer with ABC in Bhakti. We are going into diploma in Bhakti. So diploma is going to be even more heavier. Right? But take it with open mind, because this is for your own benefit. Because you're all of you are very convinced that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and to achieve him is the highest goal. And now we are learning how is the process of achieving him. Right? So today we are studying Nectar of Instruction. Once we are over, we go to Bhakti Aloka. Once Bhakti Aloka over, then we go to Ishopanishad. Right? It takes around maybe 1 or 2 months. Then maybe from March, April onwards, maybe we can go into Nectar of Devotion or Bhagavad Gita. It depends on how that we are distinct. So we go into deep studies of Bhagavad Gita. Right? So that may take maybe until end of this year. Then after that, after we complete our Bhagavad Gita, that means we have every attempt is the best attempt. All right? Every attempt is the best attempt. That means we are studying chapter verse 1. All right? What they call Vacho Vega Manasakula. We studied that very thoroughly. Now the first, we are studying it very thoroughly. Then we go to the third one, we study thoroughly once and for all. All right? We don't cut any corners, because it will never happen. Later I'll come and study, it will never happen. So we do it again. All right, we do the best. Then we do this Bhakti Aloka. Then we do Ishopanishad. Then after that, we see either Nectar of Devotion or Bhagavad Gita. Verse by verse, every purport, detailed studies. Maybe it takes until end of this year. Okay, 2026, we can start. We can go into Srimad Bhagavatam. All right. So once we are done with Srimad Bhagavatam, then we can even evolve ourselves further. We can go into Chaitanya Charitamrita. Everything depends on your enthusiasm and your laulyam. This is called greed. What greed? Spiritual greed. Is it good or bad? We will study in Bhakti Aloka. All right. How Bhakti Vinod Thakur will explain this. Materially is bad, spiritually is good. So they call Bhakti Laulyam. All right. All these things we're going to study. So hopefully by 25, 26, 27, by grace of Krishna, if we try to complete detailed studies on Srimad Bhagavatam. Then after that, we also can go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. If you study Chaitanya Charitamrita, you will be floating. When I was studying, I was going through that Chaitanya Charitamrita with my mentor, Ran Govinda Prabhu. Of course, it's in America and I'm Malaysia. The program starts Malaysian time 9 o'clock and supposed to finish by 11:30. Only 2.5 hours. But he couldn't control, and we also couldn't control ourselves from listening. And the program drags until 5 in the morning. Can you imagine? 9 p.m. to 5 a.m. And all of us be mesmerized. 4 a.m., 4:30 a.m. 9, 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4. 7 hours. Every day for 5 days, Monday to Friday. We just can't take our ears away. That is so nectarian. If any of you still got time, please study Chaitanya Charitamrita. Okay, if you got a book. If you don't have a book, if you want to purchase, you can inform me. I can give you a best price. All right. Of course, my price is different compared to the price that you buy from the temple. It's totally different. All right. I don't want to mention it because it's recording. If any of the devotees watch this, I'm asking for trouble. If you're interested, send me a personal message. Take care. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubheva Paditanam pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhayo namo namah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Have a beautiful Friday. See you.
Hare Krishna.
Have a nice day. Take care. Hari Bol.
Hare Bol Krishna. Hare Bol Prabhu. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Go Ranga.